What's going on, guys? Welcome to Pure Evil MMA Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Evil Eddie. I have a great podcast for everybody set up today with some awesome guests. On today's show, we have UFC's Elias Theodorou. But to start today's show off, and it's going to be starting off pretty hot here, one of my favorite people in G.L.O.W is joining us here today. Knock, knock.
Oh, that's so funny. Yes. Now it's going to be on you, so I get to say, who's there? Oh, wait, that's me. Oh,
Tank.
Funny.
It's Tank.
California girl. Yeah.
It's Tank.
How are you?
So, thank you so much for joining me. I've been so interested in trying to get all of you girls onto my show here. I've already had, I just had Roxy Astor on not too long ago, and there's been a lot of changes in the past couple of months with the G.L.O.W girls, and especially with the Netflix season going on right now. And, in case anybody out there that's tuning in right now isn't familiar, let me just start right here. The way that I found out about you guys is actually from Netflix, and not the series. It was actually the documentary that they did on you guys. And, I'm a 29-year-old Italian man. I'm a pretty tough dude. I call myself Evil Eddie. I got tattoos on my hands and everything. And I cried both times I've watched this documentary. It touched me so much, I had to reach out to the girls. You are now the second G.L.O.W girl on Pure Evil MMA. I'm so thankful and blessed to have you on the show. First off, where did this name Sunny come from? Is it because of your last name?
You know what? The director of The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling actually analyzed our character, watched us train, watched us day to day, how we ate, how we thought, how we looked, whatever, and that's how he gave me Sunny the California girl. I actually showed up at the auditions. I was blonde, tan. I was a surfer chick, if you will, but I was pretty much a tough girl. Like, I used to fight when I was in school and all that in the block, and I was raised with Nico the Dragon, who is one of two-time, it's funny you mentioned, two-time international UFC champion. So he taught me a lot. But anyway, back to the characterization. He just analyzed me and he said, you remind me of my ex-wife. And I said, who's that? And he goes, Jane Mansfield. And I'm like, what? Jane Mansfield? That's like Marilyn Monroe. Isn't she short? Because I'm 5'10". And he goes, no, Jane Mansfield was tall, was much taller than Marilyn Monroe. So he gave me Sunny. I guess there's a little bit of that in the blonde, fun, and sun girl of California, because I'm, a native of California. I was born in East LA. So I'm every bit of that character. That's how it happened.
There's something that I really enjoyed when I did my research about it is how you guys literally had to live the role of your characters. Did you find that difficult, or did it come pretty natural to you?
For me, it was natural. I mean, except for the knock-knock jokes. Having to sing a knock-knock joke to my opponent, to piss off my opponent, for them to come after me was quite different and difficult on the mic. I'm like, oh my God, how do I sing a knock-knock joke? Because I love to sing, so they kind of incorporated that into my character.
So you were on the first season. How did things change throughout, the first season till the second season? Did things kind of, kick into gear? What were things like, really, on that first season? Was it surreal? What was kind of the vibe going on there?
Actually, for G.L.O.W, I was the third and fourth season.
Okay.
The first and second season was the California Doll, which, of course, different characters completely. So I was actually the first Sunny, because we all know Sunny from WWE. So I kind of was the first Sunny. That's how they molded my character. But I was in the third and fourth season. So it changed drastically because the first and second season girls didn't go on tour. We actually flew into Atlanta, Georgia, and we actually went to the Mid-South and the Midwest states and toured in the, arenas. And that was pretty cool. So that was different because they didn't get to do that, but we did. And, of course, our characters were segregated, and we had to stay in character, and we had to hate the bad girl. The bad had to hate us good girls, of course, and now it's called heel and babyface, but back then it was bad and good. So we separated when we jumped off that tour bus and immediately went into character and kept it, all the way through, even in our hotel room.
you know, in that era too, after the first and second season, it seemed like it really blew up. My co-host said that he was a huge fan when he was a kid, and you know, he's about, I think he's like 38, 39 years old, and my uncle was a huge fan of Glow. Did you know about Glow, you know, in the first and second season? Were you aware of the show?
Yes, absolutely. And that's how I became a Glow girl. But I was raised in the Olympic Auditorium. My father was a big wrestling fan and friend of Classy Freddie Blassie,
Wow.
the Destroyer, all the old-time wrestlers. So they would come over to our house for dinner. And I was in diapers wearing the Destroyer's mask. That tells you.
That is perfect.
So I was at the front row at the Olympic Auditorium. And then one day, my father, I was like a swimwear model, but an athlete. I grew up being an athlete. I competed against the guys in track running, in the 500 yard, the relay, you know, all the relay runs and everything, because I beat the girls, so they put me with the guys, and I was kicking butt. So I won many medals in that. So Glow was like, okay, I got this. But it's a lot different, by the way, doing flips in midair and, you know, flying off the third turnbuckle, you know, being 5'10", it's a little different, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I was watching.
But my dad was watching Glow. That's how I got into it. So he called me out of my room real quick, and he goes, they're auditioning. He goes, you should try out for this. And I look at him, I'm like, are you kidding? You're kidding, right? And I was sitting there watching these girls, and they were like destroying each other. And there was all these different sizes and shapes of girls too, which I thought was really cool. It wasn't the cookie cutter. There was like one huge girl, and that was, I think, Mountain Fiji I saw, and then Matilda the Hun. I was like, no way, I can't do this. They're going to kill me. You know, so sure enough, I sent in my headshot and stuff to North Hollywood, and I went over there for the auditions, and there was like 300 girls. And,
Wow.
you know, I was one of the chosen one, and then we went up to Vegas, and we went through this 6-week military training. And you're not in yet. You've got to pass the training. If you couldn't do a military push-up, then you're definitely not in. Because yeah, we had to do 100 militaries.
Bring us through day one. What was the first week of that like?
Oh, my God, it was so intense. It was so intense. And here I am thin, so I had to eat a lot of protein at the Riviera Hotel. We got free buffet. So it was buffet morning, noon, and night. And Matt would stand over me, the director, to make sure I was eating my pasta and stuff. He's like, eat. You got to get thicker. We want you at 140. You know, and I'm like, oh, my God. And then lifting weights. You know, it was an intense workout. I had to go to Eiferman's gym and start lifting heavy weights. And then we would do hyperextensions off our ring. A girl would sit on, you know, one of the girls, we were girl, and they would sit on our feet. There's one girl, then over, and the next one, you know, ready to do hyperextensions. So, like, keep doing them until we say stop. And then we had to run the tubes, the tire tubes. And then we had to go around the track inside the warehouse with our arms above our head till they say delorem. We had to put them right by our ears. We couldn't drop them until we did, I don't know how many laps. Oh, my God. It was like, are you kidding me? It was horrible. So it was like, you know, a military training. We were taught how to punch. The punching bag was there. We all lined up. We took our shots at the punching bag until we got it right. We did our tumbles, our rolls, our back flips, our forward, you know, flips and front bumps, back bumps, all that kind of stuff in the ring. And then from there, that's how they pick your character. If you make it, if you made that. You know, they do the cut. There were so many girls. I think we had 75 to start with, and the ending was 36. That was up there. So,
you know, with the Netflix series coming out, you know, is it kind of similar? Do you see similarities in the Netflix series?
I mean, the second season, I'm really anxious to see. The first season of Netflix, there wasn't much wrestling. You know, and the comparison of us Glow Girls, it's great that they're doing this in honor of us, but it is so different. It's not what it was then, obviously. There was no drugs, and our director certainly didn't do drugs.
There's no robot walking around with full of drugs.
No, I wish there was. That would have been kind of cool. Like, hey, you know.
Oh, man.
But no, there wasn't. There was none of that. But the only thing that's similar is the closeness of the girls, the bonding that you see there, and then the characterization of how it came together, and then the 80s uniforms and the 80s boots, you know, the wrestling boots and stuff like that, and the characters. But the rest of it, no way. It's never happened. The second season with Chavo, there's going to be some serious wrestling. So I'm curious to see if it's going to be similar there,
So
But I wish them the best of luck because we're just getting better and bigger. Now we've got the afterglow. So
yes, and we're definitely going to talk about that. Roxy even messaged me before our interview to make sure that we definitely did speak about that, and that's something that we're definitely going to get into. But really quick, you were talking about Mount Fiji. What kind of relationship did you have with her, if any?
I did. I was really close with her because in the lineup, she was big. She was 6, I think, 2 or whatever. And in the lineup, I was standing right next to her. It was always her and I. I never wrestled her because she was a good girl, so she was on my side.
Yeah,
but
she was.
We were really, really, really close. Yeah, she was awesome. Her and Big Bad Mama equally. Big Bad Mama was the house mama.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I didn't really, unfortunately, I didn't get to socialize with a lot of the girls back then because I dated the director. So yeah, so I was like the girl like everyone hated and stay away from. And,
of course.
Yeah, and I got pushed the most by the director. He was so mean.
So when the girls hit you, they gave you a little extra push, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So listen, Mount Fiji, unfortunately, when we spoke with Roxy Astor, Mount Fiji was still alive, unfortunately, to everybody's news that hasn't heard yet that's tuning in right now. Mount Fiji passed away about a couple of months ago now, correct?
Yes, she did, and that was really sad. And Roxy and I picked up Roxy and our little dog Pixie, and we went down to visit Mount Fiji. And I'm so thankful that we got some time with her. Actually, a couple times we went down there to visit her. I was trying to give her hope because we all got honored at the CAC, the Cauliflower Alley Convention. That's our wrestling reunion. And each year that happens, by the way, I would like to give a plug for that because that's a great organization. It's a benevolent organization. So if we get injured, there's an illness, someone passes away, that money that goes to the CAC, and it's a small amount. I think it's like $28 for the membership for a year, and your banquet ticket is like $130. And you go every year for 3 days in Las Vegas, and you just have a blast. 3 days of hanging out with your favorite wrestlers as fans as well. But if you're a wrestling fanatic, you're going to love it. But as a wrestler ourselves, you get to hang out with other, people in the business. You get to meet new wrestlers and old wrestlers and, have a bunch of fun. And there's banquets, there's honors, there's an honors night. So they honor some of the great wrestlers in the business.
Who's there? Who usually shows up for that?
I don't know what next year, but we'll find out soon. But there's always big names, and there's newcomers. We have one now. Last year was Brickhouse Brown. He got the Courage Award. I mean, amazing. He's battling cancer, brain cancer.
Oh man.
So yeah, there was no dry eye in that room, and there was usually I think 400. The CAC it's packed, sometimes 500 people in the business. From referees to you name it, all the way down. It's a blast though, and it's at the Gold Coast Hotel, and you can go to caulifloweralleyclub.org and sign up.
So with season 2, I had a couple of people message me asking me, with season 2, are you guys going to be doing viewing parties? Are you going to be live tweeting during the premiere?
Yeah, we're going to be doing all that. We're having an Afterglow live party June 29th at Roxy Astor's house in the Valley.
How about that?
It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a lot of special guests going. I think there's like 7 or 8 Glow girls that'll be there, including myself, because Roxy's my BFF, so we're always together. But it's so much fun. There's going to be so many surprises, and so we're going to review the first episode of season 2 and critique it, of course, as Glow girls. We're going to either tear it down, like it, hate it, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever.
And you guys give your honest opinion too.
Thumbs up,
You guys always give your honest opinion too. Like Roxy definitely keeps it real about it all, and it seems like there's been a lot of confusion along the way. With all the added attention between first the documentary and then the series, how much more attention has it really brought upon you? Is it really magical, and does it have some stressors as well?
I mean, here's the thing. It brought us back, but we were back because I'm on social media. I've been on there, for 10 years, and I've been working it as Sunny once they found out I was Sunny because let's face it, it was 30 years ago, or 32 if you want to count the first and second season. That's a long time. We've all moved on, married, careers, did other things, and I did a lot of things besides G.L.O.W. So I'm on there, and they're like, oh, wow, you did Playboy. Oh, wow, tell us about Kiss. Tell us about that. So there's so many things that, and then I'm like, okay. Then they find out I'm Sunny as well from G.L.O.W. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. I used to watch it. So what Netflix, here's the thing with Netflix. It's getting a younger crowd. It's capturing younger people and realizing they're like, well, where's the original G.L.O.W girls?
It's a cult class. It's like a cult thing now. Like literally,
exactly.
It's amongst like the horror films. Like it's amongst the glam people. It's amongst the LGBT community. Like people are all about retro anything, especially 80s, and to have this resurrected, it's definitely magical. But what are some of the stressors that come along with this?
I would say the stressors is like, you'll see Drop the Mic, for instance, okay? We should be there, but no, it's the G.L.O.W Netflix. And a lot of people are like, oh, the G.L.O.W girls. We're like, no, wait a minute. Those are actresses. Those aren't the G.L.O.W. We're the G.L.O.W girls. We're the original G.L.O.W girls. We're right here. So we're not getting those things that they're doing. And naturally they're making a pretty penny, second episode. Come on.
It was kind of upsetting.
Like, wait a minute, we're not getting any of this, but here we are. But the good thing is, and I know we're getting to that, and that's the Afterglow, and we're going to be rocking that.
Let's get into that. But one thing I wanted to say, it was kind of sad not seeing any of the G.L.O.W girls on season 1. That's one thing that was like, that would make it so much better. It really would. That would add the nostalgic, it would just complete everything.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
It really would. But you guys are doing the Afterglow cruises. This has been going on for a few years now. So what is this? What can people expect if they buy a ticket?
Well, the Afterglow cruises, we've had 3 so far. But now I want to say that's it for a little bit. We're taking a hiatus on the cruises. So it's pretty cool, though. A lot of fun. The fans loved it. It's up close and personal. So you get to hang out with this G.L.O.W girls for 7 days on a cruise.
It's a long time.
Go. Yeah, and it's fun. Like, they get to see Sunny without her coffee in the morning. It's not
God.
I gotta have my coffee in the morning. I'm like, Sunny's cloudy. You know what I mean?
You can never get bored with the California girl, but you can catch her on her off mornings.
Yeah. That surfboard's coming out and it's going over your head.
There you go.
Sorry. But not sorry. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun, but we do have an Afterglow musical that's hitting soon, and it will be, I think, at the end of September in West Hollywood, California. There's going to be 5 of us G.L.O.W girls, and the other characters that are playing our younger version are drag queens.
Yes, I love it.
Really cool. Yeah, it's an Afterglow musical. And then we have Afterglow series, just like Netflix, with the actresses that's playing the G.L.O.W girls. We're having our actual show with us original G.L.O.W girls.
Explain that. What do you mean? Explain that. What can people expect with that when they check it out?
It's gonna be a series. Like, you'll see us, we'll be in it as us G.L.O.W girls, and it's gonna be really cool. They're writing the script now, and hopefully, you know how it goes in showbiz. We want to cross our fingers and pray that it gets picked up, and we're out there, and you get to see us, in the nearest future.
That's genius. Who thought of this idea? That's genius for you guys, because here you are, kind of wanting some of the, like, we are the G.L.O.W girls, like you guys keep saying. Roxy's been saying, I've been seeing you guys tweet it. This is perfect. Yeah. This is what the fans actually want, is the real G.L.O.W girls.
We are the original G.L.O.W girls. Yeah. So Roxy Astor has the trademark Afterglow.
Fuck yes.
And this is her baby, her pride and joy. And she's got some great writers that are doing the script along with herself and Eileen MTV and myself, with their Afterglow. The first Afterglow stage play was started in 2014, by the way, in October, I think it was, where we're all on stage and we have a hot seat. We get fans up there in the hot seat and they get to ask us questions. And the first one was at the Acme Theater in Hollywood. So it was pretty cool. So from there, we went on our Afterglow cruises. That was the birth of that at a Comic-Con. Yeah, it's crazy how it spins off. And now here we are, and we're bigger and bigger. And that G.L.O.W Netflix is actually bringing us bigger. So we have no complaints with them. Like I said, we got to meet them all. Roxy, myself, Daisy, and a couple of the other G.L.O.W girls, Matilda the Hun. We met them at WWE. they were like going, oh my God, they were fanning out. They're like, it's the real G.L.O.W girls. And we're like, oh, it's the Netflix girls. So we kind of had this, this, whole little like love connection.
That's awesome.
In backstage. And it was pretty cool at the WWE. And we got to meet them and they got to meet us. And that was cool. So, but now you'll see them like, stuff here and there, but, it's a conflict. I think that's why they can't really be too close to us. And we're not, we're just watching them. They know we're watching them.
So a part of, having you guys on the show individually is to kind of catch, what happened after G.L.O.W. I kind of want to see, like, individually what really went down with you guys after, that series was finally over. You seemed like you had some success with, you were just talking about you were in the Playboy model for the Kiss month?
Yeah, the Kiss issue.
The Kiss issue.
Yeah. Kiss
what was that like?
Yeah.
What was that
like? That
was
pretty awesome. So, and I did that many years in 1999. So G.L.O.W was over in 1990, and then we went on to pay-per-view. But after that, I did a lot of modeling and acting and Playboy and a lot of speeches. I also went through a big stalking case that hit the TV airwaves. Yeah, he was 10 America's Most Wanted. That was my own manager.
Get into that a little bit, if you don't mind. I'm sure you're catching everyone's ears.
Yeah, well, after G.L.O.W went off the air, I returned to Vegas. And Vegas is it's still the mob days and pretty crazy days. I was an NFL poster girl. And that's how I met the guy. I went to audition with this man, and I got the job. And a poster girl is not a cheerleader, for everybody who's listening. It's the poster girl. You go to the live radio remotes and all the football games, and you sign your posters. Like I did the tight end. And back then it was pretty hot. That's when they had the warehouses and Music Plus stores. So I sold many of posters. That's my tight end. So, yeah, and I represented Rams, Raiders, yes, and they're still my favorites. And the New England Patriots, they rock. And the Miami Dolphins. So I had 4 good teams, and I still stand by them, forever faithful to those teams, besides my L.A. Kings. Los Angeles Kings better kick butt, by the way. I just say that because I am such a sports girl. But, and of course, my MMA and UFC. I am so there. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much that's it. The story is very long. It's going to be out in a book and a movie.
Ooh,
so I don't want to get too much into it because I do want to save it for everyone when it happens. I have a writer right now that's doing my story, and John Walsh from America's Most Wanted actually came to interview me after I gave birth to my daughter. She was like 3 months old. Him and his camera crew came knocking on my door. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
If there's one thing,
was amazing.
If there's one thing that you could share, and I will make this a separate clip for itself for anyone that types this up online. What kind of advice would you give to anybody that's going through a situation where they're being stalked by somebody, whether it's a jealous ex-boyfriend or whatever the case may be? What's some advice that you can give to them that since you've been through that situation?
Yeah, absolutely. The advice is, most importantly, is don't lose your faith. I mean, my fight was there because I had my daughter and I didn't want to die. But you can't hold it in. You've got to report it. You must report it. And that's why I don't get all this Me Too stuff 20 or 30 years later, which some of the stuff I totally like just shaking my head. I'm like, what? How can this be? How could a woman who's been invaded from serious attack, some are more brutal than others, some is this, it's still an attack. How could they hold on to it for 20 or 30 years? I just find it very weird because, you must report it. You have to stay strong and don't let fear get involved, and go to the authorities. The FBI helped me immensely. And I went into victim protection. I went under the program and had to stay in hiding for years. And they told me what to do, what to watch for, how to protect myself. I recommend going to classes, go to some UFC, some kickboxing, some boxing classes, learning how to protect yourself. Self-defense classes is number one. It's very, very important. And also, like I said, you have to remember it's not your fault. Most importantly, don't think that you're the blame.
So
So
with this book, where can people find this book? When is it being released?
that I don't know yet. That's still in the works. So, hopefully soon, within 3 months. I do have a comic book coming out
That's
the end of
badass.
this year about a little bit about my life and my brother, who I really loved. I lost my brother to suicide. Um, and so he's going to be in this comic book. It sounds kind of weird, but they're making this comic book around me, like being the hero, because I used to beat up a lot of people who teased my brother. My brother had a hip displacement, so his foot would go out instead of straight like most people. So in school, my brother got teased a lot, and they'd call him names and retarded, just bullied, and I would take him on. I was like the tough little sister. He was 6 years older than I was, and I lost him in 1985, by the way. But yeah, so you'll catch that comic book, and I'd love to go on the show again, and I'll give you the updates for everything, and we can get more into it.
With people who have been through situations like that, I think, everyone has their story, and it's just amazing when you hear the people who have been able to come through the darkness, the people who have gone through the trenches and out the other side, and is able to share that story to give strength to other people who are going through it. Because, I think one thing that bothers a lot of people, it bothered me when I was little, it still bothers me when I'm going through similar situations. It's like you feel so alone. You don't realize, like, so many people are going through similar situations. And I think with social media, it opens up a huge platform for people to reach out. I think artists now are realizing that, we need to reach out our voices. And with all the celebrity suicides and stuff like that, it's just awful. It's awful.
Oh yeah, it's really sad. It's sad because they do feel so alone, and inside, it's inside their soul, and a lot of times you can't. No matter what you do, you can't help. It's got to be them. But I think with all the support and their family support, families need to be, again, it goes back to being loving and caring, to notice the signs of depression, notice the signs of just anxiety or anxiousness with a lot of these kids, and also celebrities as well, because they become recluse. I mean, I'm pretty stable, but I live far away from everything too. I live in a remote area, but I'm fine with myself. Not everybody is, and I think they need to know that there's an alternative. There's a happy side to this if you reach out to them and let them know that you care. If people on social media all join together and my motto is lend a smile, lend a hug. Sunny smiles keeps the doctor away. Definitely, you've got to share the love, because there's so much hate in this world. It's not a good thing, and stop bullying out there. Definitely no bullying. I can't stand bullies. Can't stand it.
And you know what? This is why we are in love with the sport. This is why people are in love with wrestling. This is why people are in love with G.L.O.W. Is because we all got our situations going on in life, whether it's our boss yelling at us or, our dog shitting all over the floor, whatever it is. We like to escape a little bit, and, platforms like this allow us to get away. And that's what life's all about. It's being able to feel free and be able to express yourself. And I think G.L.O.W does that for a lot of people. So I want to thank you so much for sharing your story on today's podcast. It really means a lot. And I'm looking forward to get some more G.L.O.W girls on. Before we let you go, there's one more thing I want to ask you. Did you watch the documentary on Netflix? And did it kind of strike a chord in you as well, where it kind of hit home?
Well, yeah, I watched the documentary, and everybody asked me, because the documentary is us G.L.O.W girls, why I'm not in it. And the reason being why I'm not in that documentary is because my daughter had a tragic accident, car accident, and she ended up, I get the phone call, I'm on my way out with my surfboard. I didn't see the G.L.O.W girls in 28 years. I was so excited. And I remember the days, January 10th, 2010, January 29th, 2010. That was the day the documentary was filmed with Mount Fiji and everybody, the same one that everybody gets to watch. And I hear it all the time because they ask me, Sonny, you weren't in it. I said, because I was at Cedars-Sinai Hospital. My daughter was in the trauma unit, not expected to live, and she was not even barely 18. So it was a pretty bad accident, and that's why I wasn't in the documentary. And yes, I like it. I think it should have featured a lot more girls. There should have been more personal interviews with each and every girl, it could have been more in depth. Yeah, it was okay. Thumbs up to the two guys, the two producers that filmed that documentary, that were behind that documentary. And they did a great job.
And with that documentary, it opened up a lot of eyes. Like, it opened up my eyes to want to reach out. And with the series and everything, it's really bloomed a huge thing. Bloom is a word I use all the time. And it seems like I invite people on who are going through transitions. And it seems like right now, G.L.O.W has been reborn. And I'm enjoying every second of watching what is going on. And I think what you guys are doing with the webcast or the web series that you're going to be doing, that's going to be interested for the actual diehards that want to see that. That's what the fans really want to see, is the real girls. So we are looking forward to that. Make sure you keep us updated with that. I will share your social media links down below. Last but not least, is there anything else you would like to get out on the table before we let you go?
Yeah, I just want to say we've got... let's see, July 12th. We also have Fulvio Cesare, who's a wonderful director of 350 Days, the movie, wrestling movie. Come out to the red carpet in Hollywood at the Chinese Man's Theater. Get your ticket now. We will be there in the red carpet, and there's going to be many of your greatest, latest, and old school pro wrestlers. And it's going to be awesome. So come out to that event and see 350 Days the movie as well. And you can catch me on social media under Patricia Summerland or Sunny Glow. The best thing, because I'm on also, many different platforms, is just Google me, and you'll find my platforms that way.
Google me, bitch.
And, yeah, that's right. Just Google me.
You know what? Google actually says when you Google your name, over 1 million results pop up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you know what? Awesome. Last but not least, when is this musical coming, and where can people catch that?
That's going to be hopefully the end of September. Christopher G. Garver is the director, and it's Afterglow musical. Thank you, Roxy Astor. Yes. She's also the brilliance behind my wonderful blonde BFF. Since I'm brunette now, I could call her the dingy blonde, but she's not. And so, yeah, it's going to be cool. And then look also for even Amazon, Hulu, or Netflix for Afterglow series. So we look forward to that. And I can't say when, but it will be soon. And you'll see all of us G.L.O.W girls back on TV.
Well, guys, from Newport Beach, California, the sun and the fun girl, Patricia Summerland, thank you so much for joining me here today on Pure Evil MMA. It's been a blast.
You're awesome.
Can I get...
You are definitely awesome.
I need a tag from you. Can you just say your name and you're listening to Pure Evil MMA?
Okay, got it.
In 3, 2...
Hey, this is Sunny the California Girl, and you're listening to Evil Eddie MMA Show.
Wait, one more time. Pure Evil MMA.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, Pure Evil MMA.
Okay. This is Sunny the California Girl, and you're listening to Pure Evil MMA.
Thank you so much, Sunny. I appreciate it so much. Have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you, Eddie.
There you go, guys. You G.L.O.W diehards. Subscribe down below if you like this interview. Give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have anything that you would like to see. One of the G.L.O.W girls come on next. What G.L.O.W girl should I have come on next? This has been awesome. I am really trying to get on as many G.L.O.W girls as I can. Thank you guys so much. Harvey Weinstein checking in. Harvey, matter of fact, I saw you on Luke Thomas's show. Squeaking in there. Somehow, and you actually had some pretty good questions, man. So make sure to tune in to the podcast this week, where I'm going to be reviewing all the news. I would love for you guys to check in there in the live chat. But for the guys listening to the podcast right now, up next we got Elias Theodoru checking in, who calls out Lyoto Machida. Guys here on the live stream, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, MyMMAnews.com. White knuckles till the end. Behave yourselves.